Okay, hello everyone. I just got done. This was the last build I made. This was just a little GMC pickup, and I mentioned that how I build it is I use a lot of Dremel bits. So everybody asks me what bits do I use. So I'll go over them and tell you what I use them for, I guess. So without further ado, here's my Dremel Big Collection. It's unorganized, but I got this little magnetic thing just to keep everything in check. But if you watch the videos, there are some that I use often. The main ones are these two sanding bits. I think that's pretty self-explanatory what I use these for, to remove material. So how I make these lines, such as that, you know, that's pretty much self-explanatory. When you go buy them, there's different grits. There's like 120, 240, you know, however you want to do it. And I have the narrow one and the wider one. So these ones I use quite often. This one here, it's like a grinding bit, I guess you'd say. And I actually took the tip off and I flattened it. And that is what I use to make all my body lines, my door lines, hood lines, trunk lines. It's much, I guess, cleaner than trying to chisel it out because it gets jagged. So this is the main one I use. You'll see in my videos, like I said, when I make these door lines or hood lines or anything like that. This is what I use, and like I said, I shave this down a little bit so it's as narrow as possible, because I used to make like a wider gap, so I just wanted to keep that gap to a minimum. So this one I use a lot. And here, this is a carving bit. I have a few of these because I constantly lose them. This one here is for like these little gaps in the grill. Anytime I want to make a hole in something, I guess you'd say, that's what I use that for. I use these quite often. Like I said, I have a few of them because they drop on the floor, I lose them. The thinner one, this one here, I don't use this that much. I may use it to maybe kind of clean up the edges on holes I made prior or around a window. As you'll see in the video, I usually chisel all this out first and then it leaves it pretty rough. So I may just take like this little carving bit and just clean up the lines so they're sharper than what they were. These are my router bits. I use these a lot when I'm making windows or, see, take this out. This grill section, you'll see, that is what I use. Like I said, it makes everything kind of nice and even, and there's less sanding. I'm gonna use this with that little Dremel drill press I have. If you watch the last video, you'll see like anytime I made like these bed panels to move all this material, I use either this one or this one here. Made the tailgate. So you see the tailgate part, all this little material here I got out using this one and this one. I use these with a lot precaution. One slip and you'll just take a whole chunk out and you have to start all over. So this is a little sanding disc. These tend to fly off very easily. So you have these little sanding ones, and every time I get in the middle of something, this just tends to rip off like that. So be careful with those. This one here, the smooth one, I use for if I want to make a dent in something. So this is old Pinewood Derby car I made. And see, I got all this dent work. Very good for making those because it kind of makes it nice and smooth. Or I'll take any type of these grinding bits because they're kind of smooth. So anytime I want to do like some dent work or anything like that, I'll use those. And I'll show you my drill press that I use too. Okay, so this is it's a Dremel, I guess you call it drill press, which you load the top end in here, and that's how I keep everything steady as I'm taking off material with my router bits. One thing I forgot to say, which is very important, if you do have a Dremel or rotary tool, make sure you get this attachment. This one's a Craftsman. And I think there's other Dremel might have their own, but this is very good. It's very, I guess, more ergonomic as opposed to holding the bulk end. It just kind of screws in here like this. Take it off. Basically, how this plugs in is you unscrew it here, screws like that. Done with it. Put it back in. Tighten that back up. And then you're good to go. So that one thing definitely comes handy if you have like a Dremel or Rotary tool. I highly suggest getting one of those handles as well. Other tools I use, and I don't know, kind of make a good suggestion, is I have a set of, not the pen, mini files. These are awesome. It's like mini sandpaper sticks, and only these don't really dull. So anytime you have to get in there, like on here, on one of the wheel wells, after I cut out with the rotary tool, get in there and really fine tune it, make it nice and precise. These are fantastic. You get these at a regular hobby store. I highly suggest picking those up. Okay, so that's my Dremel collection. It's most of the things that I use. Any other questions or whatever, leave a comment below or question below. I'll gladly answer it for you. Hope that helps, and good luck y'all with your next projects.